Hello, fellow arch supremacists. You should already know who I am already. If not, then you must be an illegal starless or alters, which you should not be here to begin with. Today I will go over the basics of using function IDs in CS building and how to become great, like me. Let's start with identifying objects with function IDs and its purposes. Function IDs has many purposes that work hand in hand with build parts such as timer cubes, text display cubes, sound cubes, collision detection areas, and so forth. While I don't know how to use all of these parts, I will show you the basics of what I know, and hopefully it will give you a kickstart off to a successful and great CS building career like me. What can I say? I build up greatness, and I'm going to build you up to that standard. Chapter 1, Identifying Function IDs. First, let's start with identifying what items typically have function IDs. As of this date, a majority of them are found in the Chair tab, as seen here. There are others scattered throughout the other tabs, such as here, here, and definitely here. Some you can tell they contain function IDs by the looks of them, just like how I can tell who's a Segocrat extremist. Say, for instance, these trees from base PS02 have function IDs versus the default trees in NGS. Potted vegetations always have function IDs as well. Why is it important to identify if they have function IDs? Simple. Function IDs take up CS space on your build like the starless immigrants do in Halpa, and before you know it, you're out of space if you're not paying attention to how much you're using up. So you're new to building and you go, Mr. President of Halpa, the great and mighty king of Halpa, who all adores the most, the dude with the tood who kicks ass with the lit shoes and can never lose. The one who can walk away without a bruise, the only president in Halpan history who... Okay, I'll get to the point already. How do you open up the function ID menu? First, place the item down like this throne that suits my personality and swag. Go to the gear icon and press X or square. I'm going by default controller setting, by the way. Now you'll see the build part setting menu pop up. You see all those function use/ID connect things? Okay, good. This is where the fun begins. Chapter 2, the basic usage of function ID, or as what I will call from here on, FIDs. I thought of it myself, so don't try to steal it, or I'll take you to court and sue you for every meseta you have, okay? Just remember, it's all out of love. You're great. So anyways, go to the sit command under the connect send conditions and check the mini box here. Now this is important to note, so pay attention, okay? The send categories triggers the receiving function to work. In order for the two to communicate, they must have the same FID numbers. Otherwise, it won't work like how I won't work with a Segocrat every Tuesday, and we end up with another server shutdown until we come to an agreement. But I digress. Okay, I'm going to click Hide Build Parts, and what will happen is my chair will disappear like how I wish the FDs list would do. Let's exit out right quick to see it in action. You see that? It's invisible, but I can still interact with it and collision detect. So if I want to disable collision detection, I go back into the settings, check disable build part collision detection, and what I'm going to do here is reset its appearance. There. You see that? It's completely quote unquote gone save the access function. The same method applies to access detection, which I can enable or disable from sitting in the chair. Don't worry, I'll be going over the last two parts, which are disabling and enabling sending and receiving connects later in this tutorial. And that is the basics of those particular FIDs. Chapter 3, Linking Teleporters. For this lesson, we're going to go over connecting teleports and learn how to link multiple ones accordingly. This will be real easy to learn. I placed 3 teleporters, as you can see. The rule of linking teleporters is exactly the same as using FIDs. They have to have matching link numbers or else they'll simply won't work. I'm going to go into the first teleporter settings and go to the link teleporter number and slide the number to 2. They can be any teleport number, but I'm just doing this as an example and for educational purposes only. Let's go over to the second one and do the same here. I'll place a 4th here to demonstrate the importance of utilizing the teleport link numbers. I'll make the last two links as number 3. Let's give this setup a try now. I'll try teleport link 2 first. There I am. Let's go over to set number 3. And same results. I am teleported to the designated teleporters. I've gotten rid of the 4th teleporter and will demonstrate with 3 instead for the next demonstration. Okay, let's say we change the 3 teleporters to having the same teleport link, which was number 2. I'll go activate a teleporter, and as you can see, I am randomly teleported to another, like what I do to illegal alters when I deport them. The next lesson in deportation, teleportation is utilizing the teleport FID under the send condition. What I'll do is make the last teleporter invisible and inaccessible until I teleport in the first one. Let's go through the steps. On the first teleporter, I'll just put the ID number to 3 just for the hell of it. Then I'll go to the last teleporter, enter its settings, go to Show Build Parts and enable Build Part Access Detection and change their IDs to number 3 to match the first teleporter's send condition. Next, I disabled the Build Part Access function and hid for the Show Build Parts. All right, now exiting out of edit mode, the last teleporter is invisible and inaccessible. So let's go to the first teleporter. I'm now at the last one. And that's how you link teleporters together. Doesn't matter what number you designate them, just as long as they are matching together. You can get real creative with the idea when making multiple teleporters that share the same link while making a puzzle game or whatever. What the halpa? Well, at least my hair's fixed now. Chapter 4, Collision Detection Area Boxes and its Actions. Collision detection boxes are just as simple to use as the teleporters from the last lesson. When the player moves into the box, it activates another object, whether it is a door, chair, or a decoy. Let's go over using the basic functions of this item. I'm going to open up my build menu and get the collision detection area part along with the nocturnal shower. Enter the collision boxes menu, select Make Contact, and put in a number for the shower to react. For this lesson, I'm only going to make the shower appear and disappear, very simple as stated before. I'll go to the shower settings and click Show Build Parts with the matching number 4. Oh yeah, can't forget to hide the object too. Okay. Let's exit out and walk into where I placed the detection box here. And as you can see, the shower appeared. Next, we're going to see how the move away function works on the detection box. So I'll return to the shower's build setting, hide it, and go down to hide build parts. Click on it and set it to a different number other than the show builds number. Next, go back to the detection box and set that same hide number for move away from build parts after contact. What that setting does is hide the shower when I move out of the detection box. Take note that the collision box may not always trigger. Sometimes it may not trigger when walking in the box. Sometimes it doesn't trigger when you walk out of it. This is definitely not a user error, but actually a Sega CRAT error, which has always been since the very beginning. The action box works just the same as the regular detection box. I'm kind of doing this ass backward like a Sega CRAT, but I'll demonstrate using an action detection area box to open and close a door. The process is the same. But with this detection, you set the requirements in order to trigger the door to open and close. You can only pick one action per box, so you'll have to lay down another afterwards. Watch the demonstration. This is the trigger action I was telling you about. You have jump, attack, and sidestep for actions, and can also set it to do nothing, which is when you slide the bar to the far left. A very fitting thing the Segocrats practice, don't you think? Okay, I'm going to set this box to attack and then set the desired number and move over to the door. Next, go to the bottom of its menu and select either open or close. For this action, I'll set it for open, and while I'm here, set a number to close. Now I'll place another action box that will trigger the door to close. I'm going to leave it at jump. All right, let's see how this plays out. The attack box triggered the door to open, and the jump box triggered it to close. Good, that's how you use the detection boxes for your CS. Let's move on to the next lesson. Chapter 5, Using the Combo Cube. The Combo Cube links two build parts with FIDs to trigger its destined object. As you can see, I'm placing 3 doors down for the demonstration. What I'm going to do is activate the 2 small doors to open the big door. In the Combo Cube Send setting, go to Receive Transmission Conditions 1 and 2 and set your number there. That is the trigger to cause the big door to open. As you go down, you will see Specified Receiver, connect ID 1 and 2 individually. These 2 will be for the smaller doors, each having their own FIDs like I said earlier. Reset Received Content does exactly what it says. It resets the connect requirements. For example, let's say good old awesome King Trumph successfully opened the big door because he's always successful and great and he wants to reopen it. He will have to repeat the process of reopening the other 2 doors. It's very simple to do. Moving on, next I'll go to door number 1 and give its FID next to open under the send command. Let's set it the same FID that I've set under the Combo Cube from the specified receiver, connect ID number 1. Heading over to door number 2, repeat the same thing and give its FID from the Combo Cube's receiver number under ID number 2. And finally, I'll go to the big door. From here, I will set the FID's open command under send. This FID number will trigger the Combo Cube to reset the requirements. Go all the way down to open under receive and set the number to what I had on receive transmission conditions 1 and 2 in the Combo Cube. Now I hope this didn't confuse you because it was a pain in the kirk trying to figure this out. As you become more proficient using FIDs, you can even link a combo box with another combo box to create a big chain of events or Segocratic disasters. Okay, let's go open the doors. There we go. You see there's no particular order to opening the big door. Just as long as the Combo Cube receives both of the small doors, send trigger. And that, my friend, is how you use the Combo Cube. Chapter 6, the Countdown Cube and the Sound Cube. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to use 2 items together, but I will primarily go over the Countdown Cube. The Countdown Cube can be utilized in a lot of interesting ways, like, for example, keeping score of collections, or what I often use it to count how many votes I've received during my election campaign. I like this build part, but I also hate it because it's easily hacked by the Segocrats. They rig the votes, they rig the personal shops, they probably rigged this stupid countdown box here. As I was saying, later on in the lesson, I'll show how to link the sound cube to the countdown box and anything else to your heart's content. Enter the countdown box's settings and go to Connects to receive before sending to next build part. It's the longest setting name. You can't miss it really. We're going to set the number to 3 for my 3 voting booths up front. Next, go down to when enough connects are received and set a number. This setting is the end result once the countdown is complete. So let's say I want the door to open at the count of 3. Once the counter reaches that, then this setting triggers the door. Next, go all the way down to increase count by 1 and check that. Reset count does exactly just that. So what I'll do is when the counter reaches its goal, it will reset. Go down to show current count and set the same FID as increase count. Whenever you do or collect something tied to the count box, it will display the number count like a chat box. You'll see what I mean later. Since we got the count box set up, we're going to place some voter orbs down. Okay, they're not exactly voter orbs, but they will represent votes for the voter booth. I'll go into settings, go down to take, and set its FID the same as the increase count and the others. So each time I take this orb, the counter goes up and it will tell me by how many. Go to show build parts and set it to the same number as the reset on the countdown box. Go down, enable build part collision detection, and use that same FID as well. I'm going to repeat these 2 more times for the voter orbs. All right, that's all good to go. The last thing I need to do is set up the sound cube over here. I use sound cube 1 for this lesson. Sound cube 2 works just the same, just only has different sounds. Go into settings and select sound effect to be played to choose which one is to be played once the trigger FID signals this cube. I've already set it to Quest Clear while not recording, and no, this is not rigged in any sort of fashion. It's fake news, don't believe it. Go down to play sound effect, FID, and set it to the same number as that when enough connects are received setting. Okay, let's go in and vote for me without rigging it like the Segacrats. Gotta love that sweet chime of success when I win in each campaign. Let me give you a heads up on setting up the countdown. The reset or the count might not trigger as it's supposed to. During the making of this lesson, I've had this issue, so I used a collision detection box to get the countdown box to work right. Once I walked through it, the counter worked as I intended it to. I didn't change any settings, as you saw, or anything. As I've said last chapter, this is a Segacratic issue and not the player. So hopefully this method will help you if the count box isn't working, despite it being set up properly. Chapter 7. Using the random cube. Random cubes are fun when making obstacle courses or puzzles in a CS. As the name suggests, participants and guinea pigs will not encounter the same expected course when you set up a random cube. A single random cube can randomize up to 5 items. You can also link a random cube to another to create a bigger variety result. I'm going to lay out all of the items that I will use for this lesson. I'm going to use a switch to display each of these statues randomly when I flick it on and off. Each statue will have their own designated FID number. So for this educational lesson, I will put number 1 for Sonic, number 2 for Knuckles, and so forth, until I reach the Sega sign. Let's go to the random cube and input those statues' FIDs in each of their respective slot, as seen here under Random Transmission Connect ID. Next, I'll go all the way down to send to one of the specified Connect IDs and enter number 6. This command is received from the switch's send command whenever I flick it on and off. Okay, on to the switch's settings. I'm going to put both on and off to number 6. I'll go back to each and every one of those statue settings, go to hide build parts, and change their FIDs to number 6. Okay, let's see how this plays out after we've finished. And there you have it. That is the basics of using function IDs and using some of the build parts. I'm not so proficient with using timer cubes, countdown, and count up cubes because I'd sit for hours figuring out what went wrong when getting them to work sometimes. Therefore, I didn't want to cover that just yet. I hope this tutorial gives you a jump start in your CS building career and eventually achieve greatness like me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an economy to ruin for the sake of de-mockery.
And they say that